It's Lionel Catalog Day.
It's catalog day. We're gonna check it out right here on Chris's Trains and Things. Let's go. All right, so it is finally January 15th, 2025, which means it is the day for the Volume 1 catalog from Lionel. And this has kind of been a long-awaited catalog because it is the 125th anniversary of Lionel. They've been putting out a lot of teasers on social media about this. We knew that we were going to see some post-war inspired sets because we've seen them already. The GG1 pre-war inspired set was in the last catalog, the Volume 2 catalog from 2024. So now that we're here in 2025 on the 125th anniversary of Lionel, we expect to see some more, and sure enough, we do. We've got some post-war inspired sets and locomotives here in this catalog. The Hudson's back. We knew that from the Vision Line release, that they're re-releasing the Vision Line Hudson again. So not a surprise that we're seeing that in the catalog with some really cool sets. We're going to see a new super set with passenger cars, which I'm pretty excited about. Not something for me, but we're going to go about this catalog review in what I'm going to relate to as speed dating. There's a lot of these videos out there for you to watch. In fact, I'm going to be, well, I just hit my microphone. Sorry about that. I'm going to be on a live stream later tonight with Eric's Trains and Peachy from Peachy's Trains, and I believe Ben from Ben's Trains, and maybe some other guests. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to go live tonight at 8 o'clock. That's on January 15th. If you're watching this on the 16th, it was last night. So you can go to Eric's channel after this and watch that live stream. So let's just speed date this. We're going to fly through the catalog and just hit some of the things that really stand out to me. We'll talk about a little bit of everything, see some of the screenshots here as we go through. So let's go ahead and dive in now. All right, so first things first, Lionel 125, 125th anniversary. We knew stuff was coming. We had the Hudson already coming out. So what are we getting? Well, we're getting a gold Hudson. If we think back, a previous, was it the 115-year anniversary when they did the chrome-plated Burke? That was really, really cool. So now we've got a gold-plated Hudson that's coming in at MSRP about $1,900, $1,999, so about $2,000. So not super cheap, but it is pretty cool. And that is, then we've got the Commodore Vanderbilts. The Commodore Vanderbilts, super cool that those are back. Not for me. And at a $17.99 price point, definitely not for me. But they're pretty cool. The thing that I like the most from the 125 inspired stuff is going to be the tin plate 4-pack. So we've got those tin plate cars, we've got the blue and the red, and having those in O scale again, and just really retro and inspired from those 125, that pre-war style. I think those are really, really cool. And so really liking those. All right, so we've got some Vision Line stuff. We obviously have the Hudson. They're all there for you, right? The whole bunch of different variations of it. We've got a Toronto, Hamilton, and Buffalo version, which is pretty neat. There's also some passenger cars that we're getting along with this as well. So the Niagara Falls pack, there are 2 packs of cars. So we've got the, let's see here, it's $5.99 for the 2-pack. Pack B is $7.99. So you can see that there on the screen. And then we've got, again, the Commodore Vanderbilts. So Commodore Vanderbilts back. There are some teasers online on social media that those might be coming back as well. And then we've got the 20th Century Limited set. So that's like our Vision Line Super set, but with passenger cars. That 20th Century Limited set, that is super cool. You go from having no 20th Century Limited to like the entire thing in one shot, which is pretty cool. $35.99 MSRP on that. So, whew, buckle your seatbelts if that's something that you're going with. That is super cool. Not something that I'll be picking up. There's obviously a bunch of more cars you could add to that as well. So pretty cool. And then, let's kind of just keep on rolling. We go into some of the legacy Steam stuff. I'm super pumped about the S2 being back. So we've finally got the S2 turbine back. Super cool. Haven't seen that in a long time. And I believe the last time this was released, it was like $11.59 or $11.99. So price point of $13.99 MSRP on this engine. Not super connected to the inflation. We're not seeing skyrocketing price there on this older tooling, but it does look like it has whistle steam now, which is really great. Excited about this one. Definitely an order for me. Heislers, super cool logging railroad engines. I've been flipping through. I didn't see logging cars in this. There's some other disconnect cars and things like that that are in the catalog and in the fantasy schemes, like the dynamite cars and things like that. I didn't see any log cars. Now, there's a bunch of MTH log cars still available at dealers, so you can go ahead and order the log car sets from MTH that are available in dealers right now, and then order your Heisler. But the Heislers are $16.99. Wow. Next. All right, so we have the A6, right? Bring back the A6. Super cool small locomotive. There's a couple that I'm looking for here. There's no Pennsy in the catalog. You know, I've got a small Pennsy Atlantic already, so maybe something that I could opt out of, but maybe we'll see some custom runs because there's a couple that haven't been done that I would love to see, specifically some that are close by to me. So I'm going to hold my breath that we're going to see some custom runs come out for the A6s. But, you know, they're nice small locomotive. I think we would have seen these at a $749 or $799 price point a year or two ago. They're at $999 now. It's a lot of money for a small steam locomotive, but again, they're packed with great features. They're fun. They can probably run on any layout also. So that's great. But next, all right, we've got ES44s here. Not surprised that we're seeing more of these with the CSX Heritage schemes. So we've got a slew of those that you can see here on the screen that are back, or that are new, I guess, rather. And then we also have some more of the NS Heritage schemes. So they started piecing those together with the last year. We saw the Pennsy one come back, as well as Lehigh Valley and a couple others. Metka did another custom one of the Lehigh Valley without safety stripes. But now we've got the Conrail version back. So that was one that I had, that 8098. I used to have the old version, sold it. So that's a tempting one. We've got the Interstate version back, so 8105. I actually have the original release of that in my collection, one of my favorite diesels I have in my collection, the first diesel that I actually bought, legacy diesel I actually bought. Nickel Plate Road, we've also just got a generic, we've got the red Norfolk Southern one also. So they're coming in powered and non-powered variations. We also have a Canadian National version. And then they hit me right where it counts with the CPKC version. I got two of the Canadian Pacific ES44s from last year, and now the CPKC version comes out. That one hurts. I'm debating maybe possibly ordering one of those or waiting to see if they release that in an ET44 with that newer tooling. It wasn't cataloged in the new CPKC paint scheme, but I would imagine that would be upcoming. So I might hold off on this for that. But if we're sticking with ES44s, there's a really cool set we're going to get to in a little bit, so stay tuned. But right now, next, Trainmasters. Trainmasters are here. They're back again. Pretty cool. We're looking at a $649.99 MSRP. So a lower price point for a diesel locomotive. Again, we know it's expensive. I'm not talking about cost. It's speed dating. We're just looking at it from, 30,000 foot view. Trainmasters are cool, but they look like a big block, and not really for me. I think they're cool, but I'm not going to buy one. Next, GP35s. What would be a model railroading catalog in the last 3 years without another GP engine back? And so we got the GP35s here: Santa Fe, Great Northern, Chessie, Housatonic. I think I don't know. Housatonic, ICG, and Wabash. So I'm sure we're going to see some custom runs from that in some dealers. Muffin usually does a bunch of different customs of things, so we'll probably see some customs coming out of GP35s. But let's keep going. Next, tunnel motors. Tunnel motors are great. Now, the first time I flipped through this catalog, I was like, oh, tunnel motors are back. Meh, I don't see much for me. I didn't get the Rio Grande version when it was released last time. We had a customer, I think Muffin did a custom run of that, and I saw it was out again. And then I realized it was a Wheeling and Lake Erie engine. And I've got the Wheeling and Lake Erie SD40-2s, and a tunnel motor with those would be super cool, especially an old patch unit, because you still see those a lot today. So to do the Rio Grande version that just says Wheeling Lake Erie on it, but still says Rio Grande, like the big paint, would be cool. So this is one that maybe I'll get its number and maybe give it a call back later. Remember, we're speed dating here, so stick with the theme. Next, easy pass for me. The FA8A sets with the B units as well. Just not an FA fan. Like, I'm not really a big PA fan. Same thing. They do have Pennsy ones, which is cool, but not for me. You're looking at an AA set at $11.99 MSRP, and then $5.90 or $5.49 rather for the B unit. You can get a powered or super base B units. Again, not for me. Next. All right, so let's focus on some of the sets. So we already talked about the 20th Century Limited set. That thing's wild. But then we have the ES44 set, which I think is kind of cool. We're going back to like the previous auto rack set that the Lionel did a couple years ago, but now we've got the Florida East Coast locomotive. I think it's a great marketing decision on Lionel to only release the FEC locomotive in that high-end set, because I think it's going to be super popular, especially if you bought the Ferromax SD70 from the last catalog run, because this engine is meant to be run with that Ferromax engine. I have the Ferromax engine from Atlas, and I'm debating still if I want to add the Atlas version of the Florida East Coast locomotive. I don't know if that's an SD70 or an ES44 that Atlas came out with, but we're talking about Lionel, so it doesn't matter. They're only releasing that in that set, so you have to buy that set, which I think is really cool. It has this Vision, what am I talking about here? A Vision auto rack in it. I'm assuming that's got, well, it's got the end of train device, but who else? You know, it's got some other features in there as well that we can see in the catalog. So pretty cool. But it's $13.99, but you're getting all those auto racks. My biggest hang up with this set is I really have moved to the Atlas auto racks, the new Gunderson ones, not these older style auto racks. Now, the Lionel ones are still scale and they're still accurate to those types of auto racks, but they're lighter. I have derailing issues with them, especially when I'm pulling them in a long consist and when I'm running them with my Atlas ones, which just weigh significantly more. So I've got a ton of Atlas auto racks now that I purchased, so I don't really need to add more, especially the Lionel ones. You can buy a standalone Vision auto rack for $350. So thinking I'm going to hold off on that. We're not going to get a number right now. Maybe I'll see you back here for the next speed dating another time. Next, we've got a Trainmaster set also. It's it's a pre-war rather inspired set. It's a Lackawanna post-war set, and that's $11.99. So there's that. There's the Vision Hudson pre-war set. That's $23.99. So, you know, not for me. Not for me. The last like high-end set that we're going to see in this catalog is the Donner Pass set. So that's an SD40T. It's going to be in Southern Pacific paint, and it's got some rolling stock along with it too. It's coming in at $10.99. So it's the cheapest set of all of them. And so that's you know, not a bad set. Not going to buy it though. I don't need its number. I'm going to pass on that one as well. And then we're going to get into some rolling stock. And I typically don't talk about rolling stock on my catalog reviews. And so we are certainly not going to talk about it when we're speed dating. All right, so quick recap on the numbers that I've gotten from tonight's speed dating of the 2025 Volume 1 catalog from Lionel, the 125th anniversary catalog from Lionel. I have got the number for that S2. There's a lot of different variations. I'm probably going to do the as-built version, though. There is a post-war inspired one that's got more of like the metal handrails and things like that. Nope, I'm going with the as-built version. I believe that's the one that I'm going to order. It's going to be the first thing on my order list. That's the thing. I've got its number. We're already friends on Facebook. We're following each other on Instagram. We're already setting up our date. That's how good this went for me in that S2 turbine. I might be saying S2 duplex. If I do, forgive me. Okay, it's speed dating. I'm talking really fast here. Next thing, I got a number for an ES44. And we're just thinking about it. Is it going to work out? Not sure, but I'm definitely putting in a pre-order for that S2. That's already been decided. The A6s, we're thinking about it. We're thinking, you look familiar, and I think you have a friend that may be coming to speed dating down the road, and that might be a friend that's going to be a custom run done by one of the dealers. In which case, we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk and see if that's worth our while. Probably not looking at any rolling stock purchases from this catalog. The Vision auto racks are intriguing. I look forward to seeing them when they arrive, but I will not be ordering one. And I'm not in for a Hudson. I haven't ordered one. I would, if I had endless money, what would I order from this catalog? 20th Century set, absolutely, hands down. I would drop that $3,500 tomorrow if I had unlimited money, but I don't have unlimited money, and therefore I won't be buying it. So S2 turbine. It's a Penske steamer. It's got to be in the collection. So that's the one that I'm going to be adding. What are you looking forward to? What are you thinking is the best thing from this catalog? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Doing a live stream later tonight. If it's still the 15th, join me there on Eric's Trains page. See ya.